Now, they're trying to tell you, they're trying to give you a clue, right? That, I mean, obviously you could write out the entire expansion and then say, okay, look, x cubed, there it is, and you can write out the coefficient, okay? But knowing these kinds of properties and understanding that there's a pattern here that we can sort of take advantage of, right? It's a little bit like how we learnt, you know, when you learn that the sum of a GP is this, right? You don't have to work out the first 10 terms and then add them up all individually. You just take n equals 10 and then plug it in, right? So we're trying to do the same thing here but with binomials. Now, to try and understand how do I do this, right? How many terms are you going to get out of this at the end? If the power is 5 up here, right? How many terms will there be in total? When we did a plus b all squared, right? How many terms are there at the end? There's a squared, there's 2ab, and there's b squared, right? So there's going to be 3 terms out of this. So there's n plus 1 terms if you're raising to the power of n, okay? Now the first term will be x to the 5, then x to the 4, and then x to the 3. So that x to the 3, that's the one we want, right? We're after that coefficient, okay? Now, because all of these starting numbers at the front are in the format n choose whatever, okay? You want to think about, well, which term am I up to? The first term has n choose 0 at the front. The second term has n choose 1. And the third term has n choose 2, right? Now, x cubed in this expansion will be x to the 5, x to the 4, plus x to the 3, right? Can you see that term, whatever coefficient up front, that's the third term, okay? So therefore, the first thing I'm going to write is 5 choose 2. 5 choose 2. That's going to be the number out the front. All right, now, then you're going to get this combination, right? You're going to get the a and the b in differing amounts, okay? The a here is our x, right? So I don't actually want that in here. I want the coefficient of x cubed. Okay. But you don't just get the x cubed, you also get some of this guy, right? Now the question is, how many of him do I get? What power do I have to raise him to? The answer is 2. Now how can you see that? Well, the first thing is, remember we worked out, oh, this is the third term, right? So therefore this number down here was 3 minus 1, okay? And that's the same number you get up here. See how that 1 lines up with this one? Okay, and in fact, there's even a b to the power of 0, which also lines up with that 0, right? So therefore, this is going to be 5 choose 2 times 2 squared. Okay. Now, I think from memory, 5 choose 2 is 10, and that's 4. So the coefficient I'm after is 40. That's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, much quicker than actually writing out every single term. Okay. But it starts to get a little trickier when you've got more complicated binomials than this. Okay, so flick your eyes over to part C. And the binomial they give us is 2x to the 2x minus 1 to the power of 7. Now, because this power is different, right? The power of 7, it's not going to be the third term anymore. It'll be a different term, right? I'm not starting at x to the 5. I'm going to start at x to the 7. Okay? So I'm still after the x cubed term. So which term is it? It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th term. Okay? So what am I going to have out the front? N, which is 7, choose, it's the 5th term. It's going to be 4, isn't it? Just like that 2 corresponds to, it's the 3rd term. Okay? Now, because of that 4, I can immediately see this 4 is the same as, this 2 is the same as this 2. So this 4 is going to be the same as this power in the end, right? Minus 1 to the power of 4. Don't forget the minus sign, because obviously, if it was an odd number, that minus sign would make a difference, right? Your coefficient would be negative. In this case, because it's even, no probs, okay? So far I have the same information here as I did here, but I'm missing something. What do I have to take into account? Yeah, good. So I've got that pesky 2 hanging out the front, right? Now, how many 2's will I have? Answer, 3, because I've got 3 x's, right? Remember, I'm after the coefficient of x cubed. Sorry, that really should be this. Coefficient of x cubed. That's not the whole expansion. So since I've got 3 x's, I'm going to get 3 2's as well. So I should have 2 cubed on the end of here. Okay. Does it matter what order you do these numbers in? Not really, because it's just multiplication, right? But it's customary to put the NCR notation out the front. I personally put this coefficient in here because that 4 and that 4 are the same. Okay, so I try and get them together because I know the number's going to match. All right, now what is that equal to? A big number. What's it equal to? 2. Oh yeah, this is the one which was wrong. I think the answer actually say 140, which is not right.